Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Nadeau and Samantha Perry with you here, 11:22 in the a.m. We're out at 12:20 first post now going forward. Excuse me, kind of reminded everybody, but just take note of that going forward now. We're at 12:20 first post, a fast main track, a firm turf course, Tapeta as well, and we are T-minus 20 days from the championship meet.
Yeah, it's coming up very quickly.
Yeah, it's going to be here on Thanksgiving this year. We'll take the bow off on Thanksgiving Day this year. The championship meet 20 days out. We've got another good weekend of racing, though. 11 for you on Saturday and Sunday. 9 of them for you today. Great to see that. You know, we're going to take a couple-week break on the turf, but nope, we're just going to keep going. It looks great out there. We've got a Rainbow Six that is estimated at $100,000. You can see that carryover approaching about 50.
Yep, it is, and we'll see what they put into it today. It begins in race number 4, so make sure to get involved.
Good turf feature today that could easily be a listed stakes kind of race. We'll talk about it, but early pick 5 gets going here in about 57 minutes. We'll take a look at my ticket now. $37.50 play for me. I'll rip the Band-Aid off here right quick in the opener. Race number 2, another 1 on top. That is Money in Motion. Actually, now that I think about it, because I wrote this up, I think about 4 days ago, I've got a Paco Lopez early double and 1-1 in race number 3. I've got the 6 on top, Valid Sense. In race number 4, my best bet is English Bob, the 4 horse. And in race number 5, you can see I'm spreading deep in there, and that is the 5 on top. It's a Boss on the turf. In that maiden special weight, $37.50 ticket. You look up at the board now, it's very, very early in the betting. But the 1 Timber is 8-5. Does look like the horse to beat in here. That seems a little bit low, but we're both starting there.
Yeah, well, we are, and it's one of those races that you wouldn't want to take a short price on anybody, but this filly, she's going to get the blinkers on. She's just been a little bit immature in her first 2 races here that we've seen her. I think the stretch out definitely put the light bulb on, and really, who else are you supposed to be afraid of?
No, you're not supposed to be afraid of anybody. You're also not supposed to want to take a short price on her either, but it does kind of look now like she's the one, as you mentioned, stretched out, got a jock switch last time, and really woke up. The 5, not 1 less, was Antonio Sano. Actually, we're going to look at the Timber race.
Yeah, let's watch it.
Because they both went at it, as did Tappett's Shady Lady.
Yeah, and this was a day where obviously it wasn't the best weather. The rain was coming down pretty good here. Timber picked up some ground late. I thought Tappett's Shady Lady actually ran a pretty good race because she did more of the work than, let's say, Timber did. Or not 1 less. So she just tired out late. But I feel like, she is what she is at the end of the day. All of these 3 are that we're looking at running second, third, and fourth are kind of what they are.
Yeah, and that's why you don't want to take 8-5 on Timber, even though we do have her on top. It's probably going to present a pretty good, alternative if you like somebody else.
Yeah.
Tappett's Shady Lady's got some speed. It's never a bad thing, but sometimes that struggles, as you saw it there, playing on the Tapeta. Early pick 4 goes in race number 2, a mile and a 16th on the Tapeta. $16,000 3 L's in here. 3-year-olds are 4 and up, which have never won 3. It's a clean field of 7. You've got the early pick 4 today.
Yep, I do, and I don't have a single in it. I wasn't able to find one here, but Money in Motion on top to me just looks like the one. Race number 3, I do have the 7 on top. It's Hollywood Mayhem, and in race number 4, the 3 on top, Pashao Moon, and in race number 5, the 5 on top. It's a Boss. $18 the play.
All right, let's start it off here in race number 2. I mentioned the 1 Money in Motion is going to be pretty tough in here.
Yeah.
Paco getting back now. Going to try Tapeta for the first time at Gulfstream Park. I think you would probably agree that being a fresh new face in this spot is not a bad thing.
No, not at all. And you look at the Presque Isle races, that's a different type of all-weather surface, but nonetheless, this horse has run well across it. Good to see Mike Trombetta kind of starting to filter some horses back in as everybody's just kind of gearing up for the championship meet. But this horse, I think, on class maybe just fits a notch above these.
Yeah, probably so. Won the 2L at Presque Isle, and don't forget now that is Tapeta there. Couldn't see it out at 9 furlongs, 2 back. Was a decent 5th in the turf at Laurel last time, our sister track. The 7, we've got the same exactly here. The 7, Splendid Summer for Steve Caceres and Edgar Zayas.
Another one that, look, you might look at it and say, oh, this is a class rise from the 8,000 to the 16. It's honestly, at the end of the day, I feel like when you get into the 8s, the 12s, and the 16 level claimers, they're kind of all the same. They switch in with each other.
They cycle back in and out. The thing that bugs me about Splendid Summer's race, for another reason I put the 1 on top, San Maritino won that race last time, 43-1.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
That's not a good sign at all, and they all kind of blanketed. Sting Music's going to be a nice number underneath for Liz Doble.
Yeah, I know Ron usually bets this horse a bit, but has won on 2 different situations, one kind of being off a hotter pace, and the other time being on top of it. So I like the versatility at least.
Get some value underneath to be sure. Race number 3 goes 6 furlongs on a fast main track. $35,000 maiden claimers here. The 2-year-olds will go at it. We do have a scratch of the 2 Starship Maverick, and you've got a work to show of Hollywood Mayhem, the D'Angelo Firster, who you have on top in this spot.
Yeah, I do. And this colt was working with a horse from the gate here called McKellen. McKellen was a first-time out winner, going 7 furlongs for the D'Angelo barn, and Hollywood Mayhem on the inside broke like a rocket. Now, I knew that McKellen was going to be more of a grinding type of a horse, so that's why this horse won, going 7 furlongs first time out. But I like the way Hollywood Mayhem did this work here. Just an easy breeze from the gate. It's what you want to see going into a race. Now, this was back on September 28th, so some time in between them, and now Jose D'Angelo is going to debut this horse for the $35,000 level. That doesn't bother me too much, Brian. At the end of the day, they paid $90,000 for this horse as a yearling. I'm not too worried about the price that he's in for now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a solid purse, and you got to claim him still, too. So I don't disagree. It's not like he's at the bottom.
Right.
I went with the Sierra Firster, the homebred. Valid sense here. The pop the other day with a first-time starter, not in this kind of arena. It was a maiden special weight. Ruben's going to typically work them very, very fast.
Right.
There's a couple of them in here that do look like that. The Bullet on September 7th was really good.
Yeah, and it's a barn that can get him ready first time. Yeah,
without a doubt. Down inside, Golden Cash for Arthur Agostini. Hey, a distant but a good second on debut. Nothing wrong with that.
No, it's not. And now going to get to a fast track, which I think will play a little bit better. Again, the rail's not always ideal, but at least this horse has race experience.
For my satisfaction, I didn't make this horse favored. To me, he should be, but it's what the betting public's going to do. Mm-hmm. He's been big prices in 3 maiden special weights. Look at the 3 maiden special weights he's been in, though.
Yeah, they've been very competitive races. Yeah,
rated by Merit, Neoquos, Macho Music, Forged Steel. I did make the homebred for Yates and Stonehenge the morning line favorite, at least. Let's take a look at his stat. Mike is pretty strong with first-time starters. Blustering Breeze, not a big pedigree here, but doesn't debut at the bottom. I think that's positive, and here he is, 20%. That is too.
Yep, that is as well, and Mike Yates has just done such a good job thus far with horses in these dirt sprints. He gets them ready as well. Yeah,
and Stonehenge especially, he's done such a good, prolific job with over the years. Let's take a break now. 3 down, 6 to go here on the Friday card. When we come back, Ron's got the Rainbow Six ticket, $100,000 in the estimated jackpot. Stay tuned.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian and Samantha with you. Ron will be out here a little bit shortly. 9-race Friday card. And speaking of Ron, he's got the Rainbow Six ticket here. As we mentioned before the break, $100,000 in your estimated jackpot. It's going to grow quickly. You're going to see singles out there with a price or two. It's a great time to get involved.
Yeah, it really is. And competitive sequence. And we'll take a look at Ron's ticket.
Yep. Here we go.
Oh, 48.60. And he's got the single in race number 5. That is the 5. It's a boss. This horse does look definitely the one to beat. And then a 3x3x3x3 late pick 4 in race 6. He's got Jet Wings in the mix. That looks like a speed play there, as well as Tap Gold, race number 7. He's got the number 1 in the end, Kent Sweezy and Paco Lopez. Race number 8. He's spreading in this race, and I'm glad he is because I am as well. Panther Island, of course, XY Speed, and Yes, I Am Free. And in race number 9, the finale. It's a competitive one here. Breeze to Bayou, I don't have that horse in my mix. Allegrini and Exchange Dreams. Ready, please, at 48.60.
All right, well, let's get into it here now. Race number 4 will go 7 furlongs on a fast main track. These are 3-year-olds or 4 and up, which have never won 3. The tag is 12.5. A couple of scratches in here. The 2 Starship Mocha, who's going to be the speed of this race, is out, as is the 5 Grand Journey. Short prices on Pascal Moon and English Bob pre-scratch, even shorter now post-scratch.
Yeah, it really is, but what can you do? This horse moved to the Bobby DeBona barn, a barn that does very well with first-time starters into his barn. First time off the trainer switch. Hey, just lit up the field last time.
Yeah, without a doubt. Beat absolutely nothing, but he did do it the right way. Yeah. So you have to golf clap to him for that. My best bet's English Bob for Carlos David. I like being outside of Pascal Moon. I like the fact that Pascal Moon is rising in class. Where English Bob is got 5 lifetime wins, and he's been a player at this level, and I think his form's been pretty consistent as well.
Yeah, it really has, especially when you look at in his last 2 races horses that he's been facing, even though one of them was at Delaware and the other one was at Monmouth. Still, I think this is a horse that 4 wins locally, that's a good thing.
4 for 11. The overall body of work I think is strong. I will give a quick mention. Just the one down on the inside, Macklin. He's got prior okay races, and he's got 2 dominant wins here at Gulfstream. I don't know, maybe he wakes back up here.
Yeah, that's what I think. I used all 3 of them here. It's good to do what you did because you took a stand in a race where, heck, even you could make a case for the 7 in this spot.
Yeah, it's not impossible that anybody wins this, but I think we both have the 2 ones that are theoretically supposed to get you through here. Late pick 5 kicks off with a good one. Maiden special weight on the turf here. These are 2-year-olds, 5 furlongs. The rail's at 66 feet. We've got some scratches that are going to hurt value here. No 2 ways about it. Mr. Tyson, the 2 is out. Emperor Doro, the 6 is out. And the 9 Noble Sky is out. Let's take a look at Samantha's late 5 ticket before we get into this race here.
Yeah, I like this sequence a lot here, and I've got some singles. Race number 6. Mr. Narcissistic, I'm singling. Race number 7, the 6 Splurge, I'm singling. I'm taking the All Ball in race number 8. And in race number 9, I do have the 6 on top. That is Exchange Dreams for Eddie Please, a $28 play.
All right, let's get into it now because this could be somewhat of a tricky race here. And you have the 5. We both have the 5. It's a Boss on top. The value's long gone if there was going to be any to begin with. The turf run 2 back behind Bridal a Butterfly was a pretty solid effort.
It really was. Now, Bridal a Butterfly, I think that race now in hindsight isn't as strong as maybe I initially thought, but getting this horse back to the grass now, even though the Tapeta race was a good race, I like the draw here today, and I like the foes that he's facing. Yeah,
I think the draw it gives him a big edge because he's outside the 4 Cosmo Prime. We'll talk about that one in a second. Let's talk about the 10 Levitating because you've got morning activity on this one. The Cassie Firster with the pink of Gary Barber aboard today.
Yeah, I think that this is a horse. Look, the turf is the question for this horse, and we'll pull up the work I think we've got of this guy here while we talk about it. Yeah, just working solo. Now, what I wanted to show about this horse is he's going to pick up company of Freedom Principle. who
Okay.
is
It's not bad.
yeah, exactly. So there's Freedom Principle on the outside here. Levitating, never let this horse in his sights get heads up with him, which I think is a good sign here, because Freedom Principle is the multiple winner here. Now Freedom Principle, watching this work, I don't want to bet this horse back wherever he shows up because he's lugging in here, but I do think Levitating, as far as he's just kind of a handier colt, and getting onto the grass course should suit him. Good post position.
Yeah, by Authentic, so the turf is a little bit of a question
Yeah.
mark, as you kind of alluded to, but we got to start him somewhere. I've got the 7 Fighting the Wars, the other Cassie. This is War of Will out of a Tappet mare with a nice pedigree. Another Gary Barber runner as well. I kind of like the turf pedigree at
Yeah.
least a little more. Let's talk about the 4 Cosmo Prime, though. He's the only horse in the race to have won a race.
Yeah.
He got disqualified. He's got Paco, a lot of speed, and blinkers going on today as well.
Well, we'll look at the replay here, because this was kind of an interesting ride. Now, when you looked at it from this angle, he did look, a little bit down the road. And hey, this was his second start. He's got his shadow roll on. He's obviously a horse that looks around, and boom, he just kind of ducks out some. And we're going to take a look at the head on as well, because I think it's good to see. Thank you guys. Much easier from what happens here, Brian.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that's literally a 9 to 10 path drift there. He was going to win the race if he kept his mind on business. We get Paco today. He'll keep his mind on business. You won't have to look hard to find this horse. He'll be in front.
Yeah.
Listen, we both have the 5 on top with 3 scratches. He's probably going to be a short number. His margin for error is about this big. He's not very good
true.
either, by the
Yeah,
way.
no,
So.
he's not, and that's one thing that you have to, you got to pick and choose your battles.
What about the 8, Replevin now, into the DeBona barn? He's got some good turf sprint for him, albeit at Delaware.
Yeah, he does, and what do I say about Bobby DeBona?
Yeah.
He's very good with horses first time in the barn.
Yeah, 24% to be exact on that. Late pick 4 kicks off in race number 6. We'll sprint 5.5 on the Tapeta. It's a starter optional claimer here for 3-year-olds and up. It's a clean field of 7. Let's take a look at my late pick 4 before we get into it. I've got a $15 play. I'm going to single on top. I know Samantha was as well. Mr. Narcissistic. There's really no point in trying to beat him. In race number 7, the 7 is on top for me. Ace up her sleeve back here on the Tapeta at Gulfstream Park. That mini turf stakes, essentially, race number 8. I'll take the post position of XY Speed over the tricky post for the 1 Panther Island. And in race number 9, it's got my long shot in there, and that is First Flash of Moon, the 8 horse, in what is a very, very big spread race and what is an admitted absolute stab for me. $15. Let's get back to it. Samantha, it's Mr. Narcissistic to beat. When the perfect post, he's now won 5 out of 6, and in the other 2 losses were by a neck and a half length. Otherwise, he'd be going for 8 in a row in here.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable here, and what a great claim by the Safi Joseph barn. They took him from Marty Drexler, Marty Drexler had this horse in good form as well, so I don't want to take anything away from that, but wow, this horse, he has a lot of gameness about him, and that's why he almost has 8 wins in a row.
And he really, he had a penchant for cutting it close a little bit.
Yeah.
He just absolutely blasted him by 5 last time. He blasted Hope and him by 5 too,
Right.
which is, I know Hope and him's lost a little bit off his fastball. It's still a pretty good thing when you're
Right.
going to beat up by him on 5. Tap Gold's the 2. We're going to call him the main, if not the only danger for Rohan Crichton and Edward Gonzalez. We've got a stat to show as well. Another horse that's been in very, very good form.
Yep, he really has, and I like the cut back on the Tapeta here for him. Look at this, turf to Tapeta sprints. Not a very high percentage here for a barn that is always within the 20 to the 25 range.
Yeah, without a doubt. I played him when he cut back in June 20th, and he got the money there. So don't think he's a router. He can sprint.
He can.
The stat is not that flattering. Where he gets placed early on could be very, very pivotal, because he's got a tricky post position, and we'll see what happens. Ensign Parker on the outside is in the mix for a slice. Good to see Rajiv Mirage back as he, kind of goes down that comeback path in the hopes of getting 2,000 wins, and we know he'll get there eventually, start to find his form a little bit. Race number 7 kicks off the late pick $3 late pick 3s. Don't forget now, we're back on the Tapeta. Fillies 3-year-olds or 4 and up, which have never won 3 races. The tag is 8. Scratch the 2 Omo 10 girl, the 9 Lightning Dust, and of course, if Splurge is in, you're going to pick her, and I'm not, So
Yeah.
let's see what happens today.
Well, we'll just take a look at the replay. Even though the last 2 races she hasn't won, it's not like she's running bad races
No.
all. And this is not where you want to be in a race like this. The winner, Foxy Lady, the 5, is going to be on her outside. Making a rail move is a gutsy one, and it just kind of looks like the wheels are spinning, but nothing is just moving forward, and that's a problem. And you look at the 5 just going, and a couple passes more to the outside of her. She still tries hard.
It's a great replay, and it's my note is quicksand down in
Yeah.
there. You hear us talk about this time and time again. It's not the end-all be-all, because sometimes when it rains or it's really hot, the inside can be okay, but that replay is exactly what we're talking about. Splurge had run, and she was spinning her wheels.
Yep.
She was stuck in quicksand down on the inside. It happens much more often than not, and that's why when you watch, especially the head-ons of races, I talked to you about this, when you watch the pan shot, you don't really realize how deep horses are.
Right.
When you watch head-ons, especially on the Tapeta, the majority of the horses are coming down the center of the track in the 7, 8, 9 path, and they have an edge there.
Yeah.
Anytime you're stuck towards the inside, it's just not going to work out time and time again. So Splurge, you're right. I mean, she ran very well. The problem is, you look at the prices that she's been, and all she's got to show for it is literally 1 win in her last 7 races. And with the scratches, you know darn well they're going to bet her again today. So I always like to fade her. We'll see. I went with Ace Up Her Sleeve, who's back here at Gulfstream. I don't know if she can get back to the race in June. It was a good one, though.
It was non-winners of 2 for the $25,000 level, and she's faced much stronger competition. That was her last win on the page, so that's a good sign. And when you have Sammy Camacho on your back, that's a really good sign.
It's a very, very good sign as well. The 3 is Capisci de la Cerda, dropping from 16.
Well, if anything, this horse has got speed. This filly does, which is a good thing.
Without a doubt. Paco lands on the 1 in the end, who's only run once here on Tapeta, and it was a pretty solid effort. It was slow, but I think she's a better filly now, and I think she's dangerous as well.
Yeah.
What a good turf feature we have in race number 8 to kick off the late double. I've said it many times. I'll say it again right now. It could easily be a listed stakes kind of race because there's several stakes winners in this race, and it marks the Gulfstream return of XY Speed. The actual conditions are an optional claimer in here for 3-year-olds and up, and XY Speed on the outside, a multiple stakes winner here at Gulfstream Park, and we'll show you one of them, him doing his thing.
Yeah, this was just back locally here, and he's such a cool horse, the way he rattled off so many victories in a row here and at huge numbers. And, we knew this was going to happen, that they were going to take the show on the road. You had to give a shot to him. He's just not that kind of horse. Took him to Monmouth. He couldn't get it done there. He took him to Keeneland. That turf course really doesn't suit him there. I thought Monmouth would a little bit more, but Monmouth didn't give him anything either. And this is just, he suits this course. He is what he is, and this is a good spot.
And don't forget, too, I want to be a little forgiving of the Monmouth race, because he went to Saratoga, and that's when all the nonsense was happening up there, where they're canceling races. They're going to run the Troy on the turf. No, we're going to take it off the turf.
Right.
He got stuck in all that up there.
He did, and shipped around a lot as well.
Shipped around a lot. His best race wins, period. He took his game to another level over late spring and early spring, early summer.
There you go.
Something like that. I don't know. He was really good.
A few months ago.
We'll look it up in the form. I can't figure it out,
Yeah.
obviously. Mike Lerman's done a good job with him.
Yeah.
And like I said, in this post is perfect, too. Before, he used to drop out the back, and you worried about him. When he won that race that we showed,
he broke like a shot.
The way he won it, I said, boy, the rest of these horses are in trouble. Yeah. I got a lead here. No Panther Island at all for you? He's got a world of class, too.
Yeah, he does. But I took the all ball in my late pick 5. So,
okay.
Yeah, Panther Island, he's okay. I don't know what to do with these Lourdes Cesaris horses here.
Yeah, the barn's struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
He's really good, and his best race puts him in the mix with XY speed. The 6, Yes I'm Free. Where's his form? I don't know. It's been a little minute, I think, since we've kind of seen the best of him.
Yeah, but at least one thing about him is he's getting a freshening up like his stablemate, which maybe that'll bring out a different dynamic.
Yeah, we both faded Reef Runner. He's very good. Don't get us wrong. He took advantage of a great set of circumstances.
They were
in the
praying for rain.
Off the turf, Humphrey. He's good on turf, too. He's not... He's got to get to the level of the older stakes kind of horses, and we'll see if he can do it today. Race number 9 wraps things up on a fast main track. These are 12-5 maiden claimers, 3-year-olds and up going at it. Scratch the 7. Tattoo on this town. Say that quick, Darren Gagne. Luckily, he won't have to do it. You are on the 6, and that is Exchange Dream. Second-time starter for Plisa and Zayas.
This is a good angle just because, you know, the barn it seems to do much better second time out, but long time in between drinks here for this 3-year-old. And I like the gate work coming into this race. That's a nice little sharpening up, and I think it's a good sign that Edgar Zayas will ride here.
Yeah, I mean, Edgar's predominantly going to ride Eddie's live runners, and this horse last ran during the thick of the championship meet on the Tapeta. Much better group than what he meets today. Is he ready? That's the only question. The scratch hurts everybody in here, including my long shot. The value, the 8 first flash of moon. You know, we always kind of say this is a Sano kind of race. Well, we're off the rail. We're adding Lasix. We're getting weight with the hot apprentice Mika Husbands. I'll take a shot. He was 47-1 on debut.
Yeah.
I don't think they come back to this horse.
No, they don't probably. And now he's going to get Lasix for the first time as well. As a 4-year-old, that's a good sign.
Yeah. The gang is, you know, kind of sort of here. Yeah, Allegrini, 51.50 in flat cap. We'll take a look at it here when they ran on October 18th.
I thought this was an interesting race because look how wide flat cap was.
Yeah.
And he ran actually surprisingly well to be that wide, the way he just tried to loop him. Allegrini did just kind of a neutral race. I don't really have a lot to say about that horse, but I was really impressed by flat cap.
Yeah. What I'm going to say is when Winooski's 9-5 and drawing off, I don't think I want anybody.
You don't want anybody in that race.
Out of that race, which is another reason why, you know, I went long shot looking in here, and certainly I've got the 6 in second. Allegrini can get a piece. You get Paco. He's back aboard. He's got speed. Those are all positives, but even Paco couldn't get this horse to really do any serious late running last time, which seems to be a big problem. So that's the 9-pack for you today. Again, a really good turf feature in race number 8. Could easily be a listed stakes kind of race. Before we leave you, though, let's take a look at the lightning round. We've got the standings here, and there's only 2 more episodes of Friday lightning round standings because, as we mentioned, 20 days away from the championship meet. Here's Edwin. Edwin's up 4 now. I did not realize that. Good for him. He's been in such good form.
Yep, he really has. He had a great weekend last week, and so did Miguel Vasquez as well. He really sharpened up everything. And Edgar Zayas, he's been here, but it's cool to see other guys, you know, just kind of looping around.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. Saw Miguel early this morning. Always a smile on his face, and great to see him in good form. Amicio and Lionel doing their thing as well. Trainer stand is going to look a little different as Safi's down the road here. And again, can't say enough. Congratulations for our Princess Rooney winner who went out to Del Mar and upset the Breeders' Cup filly and mare sprint. That was impressive, but Safi's
cool.
So Safi's trying to double up Jose and the others.
And Ben Tornado running second. That was a really huge effort.
Man, yeah, it was.
He ran huge for Jose D'Angelo. So he's found his calling with sprinting. I remember last year during the Florida Sire Stakes, you know, we thought he was going to stretch out. He's a much better horse sprinting.
Without a doubt, and I don't see anybody beaten rated by merit, but that might be something we look back on as well.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Very similar to Ben Tornado, who great to see him run second in the Breeders' Cup Sprint. And, you know, we always say, you hear us time and time again talk about the championship meet horses, and we know even starting right now, but starting in a month when the real, you know, racing, serious, you know, grade 1, awesome guys, thanks so much. Grade 1 racing really, you know, gets kicking down here. We always talk about those horses, but this was just a testament to the good product that we have throughout the year and the summer racing here as well. When you go out, and were they the only 2 that went out there? Because I know a couple others scratched.
Yeah.
One wins and one runs second in
Yeah,
Breeders' Cup
exactly.
races.
It's pretty impressive.
That's pretty cool. And you just saw it right there. The championship meet
Yeah.
will kick off on Thanksgiving Day this year. That is November 28th, 20 days from today, and we look forward to that. But the reminder today, and as you can see it and do the math, I won't ask Samantha to do it, but 12:20 in the p.m. is the first post time today and going forward.
Yep. So make sure to set those clocks, 12:20.
12:20 in the p.m. How about your best bet today?
Best bet is splurge.
Whoa, wow, really?
Yeah.
All right. My partner likes going down with the ship. My best bet is in race number 4, and that is English Bob. How about your long shot? Who's your long shot?
I don't have one.
Oh, you don't have one? Okay.
No.
Scratch?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Race number 9, long shot for me. It should be a capital L, a true one, is the 8 First Flash of Moon to wrap things up. That's it. We got a good, strong 9-pack for you, kicking off another big weekend. 11 Saturday, 11 Sunday. Darren Gagne's still upstairs. Pete will be back with us in a few weeks. And Ronnie's coming out. Rainbow, $100,000. What more could we ask for on a beautiful Friday here at Gulfstream Park?